welcome to our apartment in Beijing. I was not quite ready to show you it because it's not quite perfect yet, even though I spent the past year and a bit renovating it. But now it's been confiscated by the court and we are getting evicted in 3 days. So might as well come on in and have a very realistic look of what living in Beijing is really like. So when you enter the apartment, the first thing you see is this clothing rack. The wall behind is a little bit chipped. That's just a common problem that comes with old apartments in Beijing. On the other side of the clothing rack is the bookshelf. I just repainted it. The first floor of our apartment gets very little natural light. Previously, this bookshelf was very dark and disorganized. This is everything on my bookshelf. It just seemed really gloomy. So I decided to give it a bit of a lighter color. The paint job was actually really lousy. I only came to realize later that you're supposed to line your floor with newspaper before painting. So now there's like drips of paint everywhere. I guess I'm really lucky that this apartment is getting demolished. Otherwise, there's no way I'd get my deposit back. There's a copious amount of alcohol here. Over here is the dining table. This used to be where I work, but later on I realized I really need a separation between my living and working space for mental health. So now this is where I aspire to eat. Most of the times I eat over at the coffee table. You might be wondering, why is this wall empty? Well, we are in the middle of moving and the moving company has packed everything away. But I did film some B-roll just for you. This was basically Dave's collection of vinyls and cassettes and a really fancy sound system. Oh, we also have a projector and a screen, but we've used them maybe once during our entire time here. Oh, there's a skylight here. Over here we have a media shelf that also used to be a lot fuller than this. We've built a collection of zines from all over the country. That is the TV I bring with me to markets. The other side is the kitchen. Gender stereotypes aside, I actually really enjoy cooking. So I've invested in this huge kitchen island to create more counter space. It had to be taken in through the door as planks and assembled inside. So I'm definitely not gonna bring it with me when I move. I'm actually curious how the landlord is gonna get rid of it, but that's someone else's problem. I've really optimized this unit for baking cookies. Here are all the utensils and baking tools. More baking things here. Ingredients on the other side, and there's a well for spices and baking soda and baking powder and stuff. We have a toaster oven here, and I have hidden 2 massive bins of flour underneath the countertop. It really saves a lot of time when you need to bulk bake really quickly, and I've learned that from watching a ton of bakery vlogs on YouTube. Over here, I have really leaned into knife magnets for the past few years. It actually goes really well with this bar hanging pots and pans, which is a really aesthetic and ingenious solution if you don't have a lot of storage space in the kitchen. Over here, I'm using delivery soup containers for my dry ingredients and pantry goods. I learned this from watching Claire Saffis, and it seems like a lot of professional chefs use these to store their ingredients. They look really nice and are very, very affordable. You wanna guess what's in here? It's garlic, because we don't want vampires in this house. Oh, we have a healthy amount of dishes in the sink. I don't know if this is an Asian household thing, but when I need to boil water for pasta, I always heat it up in a kettle first and then transfer the water to the stove. Oh, by the way, I love this pull down spice rack. Over here is our massive fridge. Double door. The fridge of my dream would have an ice dispenser over here. This was also an investment for Small Batch Cookie Co. You might be wondering, why do you have a bag of commercial supply chips, fries in the freezer? We hoarded this when the wrap company that rented out Dave's shop's kitchen closed down. Also hoarded was 3 bags of tortilla wraps, down to 1 now. About 50 cans of kidney beans and corn, which also happens to be what I've been eating for the past week. This is also the corner where I tuck away all the cleaning supplies. That's basically it for the first floor. Let's go up to the second floor, shall we? The second floor is the bedroom, the bathroom, and the spare room. Look at this view. Like, this is what I wake up to every single morning. I see this tree changing through the seasons. It's starting to feel like it's my tree. I was never super into having a view. Some apartments offer you to pay extra for a better view, and I never used to understand that until I got to see this. Our house is like taller than all the other houses over there. It feels like we're overlooking the hutons. It didn't occur to me until the court notice showed up on the door that there will be anything wrong with this. It turns out this apartment is not supposed to be this tall. The entirety of the second floor is an illegal construction. According to Chinese tenancy laws, a building with an illegal construction cannot be rented. Because of that, our rental contract is invalid. I feel like it's so hard to be a tenant anywhere in the world because how else are you supposed to know about all of these rules? This clothing rack used to be a massive throw up of clothing until I got these 2 organizing bins to hide away the clutter. Clutter is the enemy of home aesthetics. I really like this string of heart here. This corner is where I sit and read every morning, or so I try. I'm currently reading Frying H Mart by Michelle Zauner. It's taken me a while to read this one just because of having to move. I really like carving out a piece of the day just for myself. Right here is our second humidifier. Just goes to say how dry Beijing is. This is my laundry hamper, Dave's shrine of pug things, as well as my jewelry hanger. This is my cat's private tree. Over to your right is the bathroom. I spent a lot of time trying to find the right shower curtain and rug. I propagated this pothos plant. It's really thriving. I thrifted the store knob at Oxfam when we visited England. Oh, and you get a little bit of a view from the shower too, which some people might find weird, but I actually enjoy it. Over here is the spare room. This is a Kanban I recently started using for content planning. Anything I post, it would start with an idea and then it would get scripted, filmed, edited, and done. Oh, shit. I also color-coded different types of content that I post on different platforms. For example, apartment tour is scripted. After I film, it can be moved to filmed. This room is pretty much the least decorated in our apartment. I usually come in here to either edit or package things for Small by Shukiko. There's just a load of cards, packaging materials. This is the box I take to markets and more packaging material. We also have a printer here that very rarely gets used. Sometimes we get cats walking across the roof. This shelf is just whatever clothes that can't fit on the clothing rack. This apartment is where I hustled and built up confidence to quit my job. It just feels like my own little corner in Beijing. So packing it away and moving has been really difficult. Now I really crave stability and just want to have a home that no one can tell me to move out of. I'm really grateful to you guys for being a part of this journey. I got some packing to do now, so I'll see you next time. Bye!